last year for math class, I was learning algebra in my school. So I was learning all these different topics that probably most of them I don't even remember. Like the quadratic formula we learned, I forgot it like a month after we learned it. But the very few things that I do remember, I cannot name even one that I use in my normal life, that I actually use to make progress in my life. There's zero. In my geometry class that I'm taking this year, I don't see any points of me learning any of this. Unless I want to like find the height of a building and I know what angle I'm looking up at it, and which it's, why would I ever want that? How would I even get to that point? Where I have only this information, I need to find this piece of information, like how you do in geometry. And some problems. But the vast majority of the things I think that I've learned in math, I've not used. In history, I've not used. In pretty much every single class, I have not used. But school still has some value, right? It's not just all worthless. Correct, there's some value. The friendships you gain, the maturity that you gain some discipline as well because of how hard it gets, especially near the end, like in high school. There are some benefits, but school by itself is pretty much completely useless. School without learning from outside of school, without doing things from outside of school to increase your knowledge, is pretty much completely useless. The first reason of this, I've already mentioned it, is that we don't use the vast majority of the stuff that we learn. The vast majority of the stuff we learn, most people do not use it in their lives. Maybe there's some like NASA computer scientists that need some math information that we gain, but one, that's not most people. And two, just you can have computers do it for you. You don't even do the math yourself. So the vast majority of the stuff we learn, we do not use in our life. And it does not help us except we learn more advanced stuff. And that more advanced stuff does not help us except we learn even more advanced stuff. So it keeps getting more and more advanced with no benefit. The second reason why school by itself is useless is that there is no life class. There is no how to live your life, how to do good in your life, how to be disciplined, how to be organized. There's no class for that. In some schools, there might be like some random one-time elective that happens like every year. That's like a life class. But come on, that's not like a major class, right? The third reason is that people's minds in school get programmed. They get programmed by the school. In Western schools especially, people get programmed to accept feminism and a lot of other Western ideologies, which are bad. In my school, for example, there was like a talk about gender equality and feminism, and I don't know if they use the word feminism exactly, but they pretty much just explain what feminism is, and they said that it was good. The fourth reason is that it creates people, it produces people who work, who listen to the commands of others, who do everything that they're told, but they do not think. They are not creative. School does not boost creativity. Maybe the lower grades have their creativity boosted because they do some like drawing and stuff. They are drawing random stuff, whatever they want to draw. They do stuff like that. But even then, a lot of the things that they draw, they shouldn't be drawing. But that's a topic for another time. School doesn't teach you to be creative. It doesn't teach you how to be an authority, how to have leadership, which I might make another video on this to explain it more and provide reasons why. But we should not seek authority or leadership or leading others. But in case we have to, school does not teach us how to do that. And we have to. At some point in our lives, we're all going to have to be a leader at something. If we live more than like 2 seconds more, we're going to have to be a leader for something. The fifth reason why school by itself is not good is that it has so much stress and overload in the past in the later grades, right? The earlier grades are actually pretty good. You actually learn some stuff. You actually learn like how to read, how to write, how to. Well, I don't remember a lot of the stuff we learned, but we probably learned so much stuff that continues to benefit us. So, but in the later grades, you're being stressed from all the homework you have to do. There's so many exams. You have all this stress, all this stress, all this stress, and it's a burnout. It's burning you out. It's an overload. How can you expect someone who has not held anything heavier than a small stone to put all of Mount Everest on his back and walk with it? Similarly to school, we have people in lower grades that barely have any work, they barely have any work, they barely have any work, they barely have any work. And then within the span of like 2 years, like so much work, which leads to so much stress. And it's not healthy. It's not good. And the sixth reason gets kind of dark. It is depression. If you are going through your school schedule, right, you're a normal person in school because school's not teaching you how to be a good person outside of school. They just want you to finish their homework, right? So you're being a normal school person. You go to school. When you come back, you are lazy. School does not teach you how to not be lazy. So you play some video games, ruining your self, and then you spend some time with your friends, which you probably shouldn't be spending much time with. And you probably should not be friends with them at all. And then you finally do some homework, and you go to sleep really late, and then you wake up pretty late, and you have to rush to school. And there's so much stress on you. And you're not getting things in on time, someone's getting bad exam grades. There's a lot of stress on you, which ties into my previous reason. All of this overload, all of this stress, which is my fifth reason, right? This is the sixth reason of depression. All of this on a student, you cannot have them have all this on them. And also activities outside of school. And also any sports they might play. And also everything that they do pretty much. With school, you cannot expect them to handle that. And so some people get depressed. And depression can lead to suicide. The solution to these problems, the solution to making schools better, is either have some life class and make sure everything that we learn will actually help us in life. Or, number two, because number one was just for the schools. Number one is something that only the schools can do. But if you're a student, for example, number two, you can do it. Learn things outside of school. Do not spend your time playing video games, doing random stuff, doing whatever. Learn things outside of school. Like instead of spending my time doing video games or whatever, I sometimes actually do call people from my school and they play video games, but I stay away from that. Because I'm focusing on things that will actually benefit me. Like understanding my religion more, learning more about it, and learning about life and how to help make a good impact to the world. These things will actually help me. Unlike a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And definitely not c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ac cosine of c. I don't know why we even had to learn that. We didn't even have to. Well, we had to for the school, but it's not going to help us ever in our lives. How is a over sine of a equals b over sine of b equals c over sine of c ever going to help us? It will not. But the system, the world, is so destroyed that these useless things you're learning in school, these are things that will actually help us. And the system is broken, so it must be fixed.